Oh, here we are looking at some of the unusual stuff. Canon dial 35. It's clockwork driven and 35mm half frame. Got a dial like a telephone dial. Actually you turn this dial to the ASA, set the ASA. Uses CDS meter, and so there's batteries inside. So you turn this dial to set the ASA of the film. It has a simple focusing adjustment here. And a very limited number of shutter speeds. 30th, 60th, 125th, 250th. It should turn again to align with this mark here. Now this is the shutter release button. You can see the frame counter window there. Obviously when you first load the film you have to advance it until it gets to 0. These are a bit unusual in that they don't allow you to actually to fire the shutter without a real film being inside, which is a bit really awkward really. This is the first version. You can see the half frame mask there. This is a take-up spool. Cassette goes in here. And this version uses quite a long battery. So you'll wind up the clockwork motor. It's supposed to be able to take about 20 exposures on a full wind, but I've not found that. And if you're not careful you can overwind it so that it actually jams. These are very prone to various failures. ASA on this first version, 35, only goes up to 400 ASA. And the next version is called the 35-2, and still quite limited shutter speeds, but the ASA does go up a bit higher to 1000 ASA. 640 to 1000. So that's a little bit more. This one's faulty, the shutter button's jammed. When you're going to rewind, of course, you use your finger to turn this so that the dots align and push it in, and the motor should rewind the film back into the cassette. A lot of these you find the rubber covering is missing from the winding knob. But when they work, they're okay, but it's difficult to find one that does work. Now, the last model they made as a dial rapid. And naturally that means instead of using ordinary 35mm cassettes, it uses the rapid system originally by Agfa. So you need 2 of these rapid cassettes, and it pushes the film with the sprockets, pushes it out of one cassette into another one. The frame counter is here on this one. Now, the first of those kind, the actual Agfa Carrot, this was the first version called the Art Deco, 37 I think, 1937. Yeah. Difficult to do one-handed. Okay. See, the front has come open there. So this is the actual Agfa Carrot cassettes. They look similar to these rapid ones, but the rapid ones have something extra besides the word rapid. They have this little tab, and that automatically sets the ASA in the camera for those with a meter built in. So this has got 2 of the old style. So, yes, with this dial rapid, you've got the winding knob here. There's little things which tells it. You can see here, there's a thing which gets pressed down. That lever gets pressed down by this tongue on the cassette. This you can see is marked E, so that's correct for 64 ASA film. They went from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the different ASA speeds. As they faster speed, the tab got longer, and so press that adjustment in there. Because it operates differently than a 35mm cassette, this one will actually fire if it's wound up. The dial here, I've got a filter over it at the moment, but the dial doesn't actually adjust the ASA because there isn't any ASA adjustment on the camera. It uses that cassette tab to adjust. You've got focusing adjustment here. You can see the distances. And you've got the shutter speed, so you've got B with this one. The other ones went from 30. B, 30, 60, 125, 250, right up to 500. So it's got more range than the ordinary dials. And even has this self-timer. And a little built-in flash thing there for a flash bulb. It's a fire. The shutter, this spring cocks and fire's okay, but for the meter, this little compartment here holds the batteries, which I don't have. In fact, I don't even know what size batteries they are. Looks like two sort of small ones, each about half the length of a AAA battery. So I have no idea what's going to go in there to operate the thing correctly. So if you're going to use it manually without that automatic exposure system, you're going to have to set the ASA by using the correct tab length cassette, and you can only adjust the shutter speed. The aperture would normally be automatic. On these ones, there was an override. You could peel this out and adjust the aperture manually. But this one doesn't seem to have that. Oh well, we'll have to see.